Hello there. Welcome to Auntie Yaa'S Book Corner, and it's Let's Talk with Mama Ya. The topic today is Think Big. So, my name is Yafoda Tobra, and I am an author of the 5 books that we discuss on this platform. So, I read something in a book yesterday that gave me the idea to come and talk about this because I believe that it might help our community. My question for you is, how do you see yourself? Many a time I've said on this platform that we were raised a certain way. We had to be humble. You didn't talk much. If you talk too much, you are frowned upon as being too known. Yes. So, how do you see yourself by that? I mean, do you have confidence or do you have low self esteem? Collectively, I believe that if you speak of my community, a lot of us tend to be timid because of the way that we were raised. Yes. And so that affects how we show up in life. How do you see the world around you? Do you see it as, oh, I'm just in the world, I have nothing to offer, I am nobody? Or do you see yourself as somebody who has something to offer and can make an impact? I want you to think about these questions that I'm raising. Also, do you know that your thoughts paint your world? If you see, do you see yourself as small, like a little ant, a little fly, or are you a big thinker? Sadly, in our community, if you are a big thinker, you tend to be looked at too much. They find ways to clip your wings. There's scripts that we have, especially for women, and there's a standing joke amongst my social media friends about the box. We are stuck in a box and everybody's expected to stay in there. Meanwhile, there's 4 corners to the box. So if one side is not working, how about you use the other 3? And if it doesn't, hey, you chuck it and you jump out of the box. But a lot of us choose to stay in these boxes, and we give those who try to jump out and achieve greater things, we look down on them, give them a hard time because why? We're jealous of their progress. We wish we could do it, but we don't have the skills or the capacity, the humility to say, hey, my friend over there, I see you are doing so well. How did you start? Tell me all about it. Can we have a coffee or can we do a call to chat? Do you ever think that way? So, the thing about it is, if you want to make progress in life, you need to take stock of where you've been, your life. Where have you been? And where do you want to go? Where you have been is over there, where you want to go is that way. So there's a distance in between. And if you don't try to get that way, that distance will be shortened the day you are called. Okay? I've said before that you are born on a particular date, there's a dash, and your final day on this earth is the completion date. Let's not waste time. So, thinking big means not settling in life, putting yourself out there, believing in yourself that you can. And the thing is, you need a plan of action to get to there, to move from over here to that away. And are you the person who's given to planning? Do you have goals for your life? Even daily goals. What do you do on a daily basis? Do you just wake up, get out of bed, and anything that comes, that's it for you? It, these are important questions to reflect upon. You can't live life just letting the seconds, the minutes, the hours, the days, weeks, months tick by. And then later you look back and regret and say, oh, why didn't I do this or that? I'm speaking particularly to my community members because we have a big problem of keeping or maintaining the status quo. We don't try new things. Listen, I watch a lot of videos on TikTok because I learn a lot, and then I like laughing, so I need to get my daily dose of laughter. I can't take myself so seriously in life anymore. No. So yesterday I came across this video of a gentleman being interviewed. He traveled to the States. And before he left, he was a teacher in our community. So what happened is when he got to the States, people were telling him, oh, you can't be a teacher here. It's difficult. It's this, it's that. The long and the short of it is, I think he didn't listen to it. In our language, we call it yese, yese. It means they say, they say. They say, they say, they said this, they said that. Rumors, hearsay. He took it upon himself to do his research. So today, he's a teacher in the USA. Where are those people who were the naysayers? Oh, you can't do it. I'm afraid. We are so timid. You know, you live in a system. All you have to do, if you're on your phone, you don't even, it used to be, we would say, oh, we don't have a laptop, we don't have this. These days, you can do everything on your phone. Look for information, research. He's a teacher. He said, he made a joke. I don't remember it all, but it was funny that if somebody, one of them was to say, oh, my mom is a woman, he would say he would want to see it to believe it. Like he doesn't trust our people anymore. Because what if he was not a go-getter, somebody who pushed? He would be stuck, wouldn't he? So when he told the story, I just laughed because I tell myself that I'm so glad that I've come to a place in my life that I don't have to go talk to anybody about anything that I'm doing. Yes, I can ask for advice from people, that I do. But what I'm saying is if I'm going to do something, I get up and I do it. Because chances are, if you decide to tell a million people, especially people who do not need to know your business, you'll never get to do that thing that you're going to do. We need to make progress in life. We need to develop ourselves. We need to be invested in learning and being better. You know what? Maybe I'd encourage you, advise you not to be so selfish. You may have kids. Think about their future, okay? They're going to live in this system. Yes, our kids, they probably, well, at least my girls, they love Ghana more than I do probably. They'll go visit, but they won't live there. So they have to see you striving and working hard at something. So they also have a method, or they have how do I even put it? Somebody who's an example to follow. You have to give them a good example to follow. So I've been talking about thinking big. We tend to think small. You can't do this. Oh, when I came, this is how it is. No, don't do that. You get into trouble. Why? Oh, well, they said this. I'm afraid. I don't have confidence in my family. People, we don't do these kinds of things. I'm going to read some words to you, okay? And think about the words as I read them, because I'm talking about thinking big. Thinking big means being magnanimous. You look at, always looking at the big picture, not the narrow tunnel vision that you have. And then the stingy mindset that we have that, oh, I can't let you come and do something and you overtake me. I came first. I came so many years ago. Why should you come and overtake me? So stingy and magnanimous. A stingy person is frugal. They are cheap. They don't want to spend money so much. Greedy, selfish, ungenerous, petty, close-fisted, mean, tight-fisted, uncharitable. Think of all these traits. They have the money, but they are not willing to invest in themselves to get knowledge, to get some power. Because when you have knowledge, it makes a difference in your outcomes. You are knowledgeable, you can apply for that job. That comes with a higher an increase in salary, right? Your standard of living will go up. Petty, right? And of course, mean, that attitude, our attitude, let me put it this way, it sucks. Sometimes even I would say it stinks, because we think so base, like so low level. We don't want to be better. Look at the other side of it. Magnanimous, somebody who's considerate. They are charitable. They are selfless, unselfish, generous, open-handed, high-minded, great, free, noble, kindly. People who think big, they see the big picture. They see a world of possibilities. If that person can do it, so can I. Just because my name is Yaa'S Atobra doesn't mean, oh, I'm a strange name and I can't do anything in the system. Yes, it's a strange name, but if you go to Amazon, you'll find 5 books by that strange name. That's my legacy. Yes, my fifth book, when it came out, my son had come over to help me with something. So I gave him a copy and I said, show it to my 3-year-old grandson and let me know what he says. So I said, hey, Alex, what did Malachi say? He said, that's grandma, and I can imagine him saying, I just chuckled. I laughed. In his little mind, he means, oh, that's grandma. But as he grows up, he'll go, hey, in my family, we do this, we do that. His father is a writer. So was my father. So it's a generational thing. My daughters like to write. One of them writes plays. She's written plays that have been acted out in church and that kind of thing. And basically, it's a legacy. Think big. You see, you came from what do you call Omofia or Kwejo Chrome over there, and you have come to this big place. And you were raised with this tiny little, oh, just stay here, don't move, and you come to this big expanse of opportunities. Won't you be happy to see your children, doing big? I told you, was it last year, the Olympics, and I saw this Ghanaian girl on the skating, US skating team. I thought, wow. There was also a Ghanaian runner running for New Zealand, and I understand his father before him too was a runner. So when I see these things, you see names. One time on the news, there was something, I forget whether it's to do with art or whatever it is, and I saw this guy and I said, that is a Ghanaian, because it was a Ghanaian name and I could recognize it. When I see those moments, I feel so proud because I tell myself, we've come to the diaspora and here we are. We're all over. Yes, we're there. And when we see the names, we recognize it because we know they are people. So for us to come from over there to over here and be making an impact, that is great. Do you think they would have got there if they didn't think big? Certainly not. There's nothing wrong. Okay? Myself, I was a shy, timid person as a young child before I came here. I had to get over that quickly, build some confidence. I've been in places, sometimes people think you are not ready for something, so they won't give it to you. There's things people put down, there's barriers, impediments that people put in your way. But now when I turn on my camera, I want to come talk, I come and talk. Do I go ask permission from anybody? No. Am I shy? No, not anymore. Mm-mm. Am I making an impact? Yes, I believe I am, because when I come and I tell my stories, whatever they may be, somebody listens and gets a nugget out of it. But if I'm to sit back, typical woman from my community, oh, I'm a woman, I can't do it. Oh, I'm shy. Some of us, we can't turn on the camera. Really? Oh, I don't think I can come on. Listen, I'm sitting here. I didn't have to plaster my face with anything. I'm sitting here. I love my lipstick. I'm here and I'm talking. We need to get over our fears and make an impact. You can look at your age. Yes, in my community, people look at somebody like me and go, oh, what does she want? This, you know what? There's a lot more that I got to give and I'm going to do it. And nobody's going to stop me. Be like that. The energizer battery that never gave up. You got to think big in life. You got to think big. Take your little steps, make that plan, and move along. Move along. Yes, no matter what it is, you have something to offer, and there's people waiting to hear it. Okay? So, if any of what I've said resonates with you, please contact Auntie Yaa'S Own It Academy. Okay? Here it is. We provide life coaching. Do you need help getting clarity in your life? Are you willing to take responsibility and accountability for your life journey? Are you vested in owning your story? Let's talk, okay? So you can contact me at ownitbooks@gmail.com or Yaa'S Atobra on Messenger Alternatively, you can book an appointment on Auntie Yaa'S Book Corner on Facebook. So we provide book coaching as well. You have a story. What is your story? There's a story inside you waiting to be told, and you are feeling shy and you're feeling timid. Why don't you rise to the challenge? Take it on and do it. Someone out there is waiting to hear your story. Your voice is your power. It is time to own your power and your story, and I'll help you publish and share your inspiring story to the world. As well, we provide women empowerment and motivation. Dear woman, do you know who you are? What script are you living by? Is it yours? How would you like to rediscover yourself and work at becoming the best version of yourself? How vested are you to do this work? Send me a message and we'll talk. Okay? Make it a point in your life to tell yourself that you are interested in growing and becoming, and invest in it. Invest in yourself. Listen, you can spend, what do you call it? That $1,000 going to buy a Gucci purse or Michael Kors or what have you? Or are you going to go buy some courses and become a better version of yourself? Be able to speak confidently, be able to do, last weekend, my friend from Sierra Leone that I've known for 20 years, her son got married, and we went to the reception, and I had fun. I had a good time. You have to be your confident self. I like dancing. I made sure I had fun. Happiness. My happiness does not depend on another person. I'm responsible for my happiness. I made sure that I enjoyed myself. There are people, women like me, who sit around and say things like, oh, they don't have a man to go do things with. Oh, I wish I had a man who would take me this way, who would do this, who would do that. Life is ticking by. If your man is not so inclined, are you going to sit there and waste your life waiting on a man? You have a responsibility to yourself on this earth right now. So live your life, okay? So let's look at my books. So the first book is Reflections for a Thirsty Soul. It is a motivational and inspirational book. Life is frantic, frenzied, and sometimes you need to sit down and you ask yourself, is this all? You need refreshing for your soul, okay? So get that book. You'll be blessed. The Beauty of a Woman's Heart. Women are nurturing, always caring, taking care of others, and we forget ourselves in the process. What are you going to do about it? Because you did not make the effort to become financially independent, everything you want to do means you going into the family coffers. And of course, you may have a husband or a man who may tell you, well, you can't do this at this time because we don't have enough money. And so you are sitting feeling stifled. There's good reasons, and then there's those men who don't want their wives to do anything. We have that too. So they cripple you, they stifle you, and you're sitting there, and your children, or my children, or even sometimes it's not the men. The men want you to do things, but you, the woman, are making excuses. My kids, my kids, my kids, and then they are grown up. I am at that stage. Can you imagine if I did not set out to start writing when I did, doing what I'm doing now? What would I be doing with myself right now? I'd be bored to tears. Yes. So let my story, if you want to know more, get a hold of me and I can walk you through my story and let you know that it can be done. You can do what I have done. Because your life and your destiny does not depend just because you are with somebody in a relationship, does not mean that you have to be tied to them so that you can't do anything on your own. They have to give you that freedom to be your own person, or you need to do that for yourself too. Okay? The third book is Reflection for a Thirsty Soul, came out in 2020. The Beauty of a Woman's Heart was 2021, and so was Refreshing for My Weary Soul 2021 as well. It's a devotional. I take a scripture from the Bible, I speak about it and share my insights. because I look at the way I was raised with Christianity, or sometimes I call it religion, because we can be very religious. Instead of having the relationship with God, we are into so much religion and hypocrisy and judging and, doing all kinds of things to each other instead of applying the word. And so there's also a section in there called Practical Nyamisem, my insights on how I see the way we worship in Ghana. So the fourth book came out in 2022, Own It. It is a guide to taking responsibility and accountability for your own life journey. A lot of us in our community, we don't have initiative because of the way we were raised. We think people should do for us. So right now there's a sense of entitlement. Oh, how come I don't have this? My brother is over there in UK, he has to help me. You have to do things for yourself. There's people who push, don't get me wrong, but the collective mindset is that we are not pushy. We don't push. I remember being in church and my pastor had made the comment that we Ghanaians, we don't know how to sell ourselves. It is the truth. I, for one, sitting here talking about these books, somebody will come along and say, oh, she's always talking about her books, she's showing off. If you don't talk about your books, who's going to? There's stuff in the book that will be just even one line. Somebody might spend $25 buying the book, but one page, one sentence, one paragraph will set them on the right path for their life. So you have to teach yourself, own your life, own it. Be accountable and teach the next generation also, so they don't become helpless, especially our girl children running after men for money, having to offer themselves for money instead of working hard to get their own money. Please, let's do the best we can. Last but not the least is my unapologetic self, a guide to being real and living life on my own terms. As I said, we grew up with many rules. Yes. So many rules. Don't do this, don't do that. You can't talk to an adult when they are wrong. You can't tell them they are wrong. You have to show respect, no eye contact. But then you move to the diaspora, you have to make eye contact. There's certain rules that my elders have that I don't believe in. So I put them to the side. I've created my own. The good values that I was raised with, I kept. The good values from the environment in which I am, I've kept them. I married the two, and that's how I've lived my life. Because sometimes if you are busy living scripts that you've been given, you don't become your real person, and you're never happy, and you'd wonder why. And you don't even have the courage. You don't have the courage to say, let me get out of this. Let me sit and reflect. Why am I so unhappy? What is going on? Have I limited myself? Is there something I could potentially be doing? Is there a skill or talent that I have that I'm not building upon? That is how you grow in life and make an impact. So that is Auntie Yaa'S books for you. So on this platform, we do our Saturday Facebook Lives. We had a program last week. We talked about why do people bleach. We come on every second week. So next Saturday, I believe that will be August 5th, we're coming on. We'll be talking about the trauma we go through, the trauma that we face growing up. Are we addressing them? How is it impacting us in our lives? As well, today we have on here, I've been doing Let's Talk with Mama Ya. There's also Auntie Yaa'S Nuggets. I take an aspect of life and I come and talk about it. There's also Pearls of Wisdom. I take a passage from the Bible and I share anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, share my insights on it. A word for you is less than a minute long, a passage from the Bible. Like today, I was talking about gratitude from Psalm 118, verse 24. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice in it. A lot of us are sitting around whining, moaning, and complaining rather than focusing on what we have. We focus on what we don't have. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. So flip it around, okay? And then also I do short clips, also less than a minute long, from the books Own It Lessons. There's My Unapologetic Self. I do beauty lessons also, mainly to women. The last video I did on beauty lessons was Maintain Your Dignity, becoming financially independent. Those are the kind of topics that I discuss. So I thank you for joining me. If you've been a long time patron of ours, I appreciate your support. When you come on, share the videos, make your comments, we'll respond to it, share it so that people also have the benefit of the nuggets that we share on this platform. So again, I'm going to encourage you. You have only one life to live. It's not a dress rehearsal, as I always say. Think big. Think big. You can do it. If somebody has done it, there are people, lots, when you read some of the biographies of the famous people, some came from abject poverty. How did they get there? You can do it too. Think big. Don't let anybody shut you down. Snuff out your light, dim your light. You have one life to live. Go out there and live it. Thank you so much. This has been Let's Talk with Mama Ya. Until next time, have a great day. Take care. Bye.